Morning students. In this session we will discuss about the transportation in human beings as well as plants. First of all, I would like to discuss the transportation in human being. The circulatory system is composed of the heart, blood and blood vessels, which transport various materials throughout the body. First, human heart has 4 chambers, 2 arteria or auricles, right auricles and left auricles, and 2 ventricles, right and left. These chambers prevent the oxygen-rich blood from mixing with the blood containing carbon dioxide. The right half of the heart receives deoxygenated blood, whereas the left half receives oxygenated blood. The carbon dioxide rich blood has to reach the lungs for the carbon dioxide to be removed, and the oxygenated blood from the lungs has to be brought back to the heart. This oxygen-rich blood is then pumped to the rest of the body. Ventricular walls are much thicker than atrial walls. Humans show double circulation. Blood goes through the heart twice and complete separation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Regarding blood vessels, 2 types of blood vessels, arteries and veins. Arteries carry blood from the heart to different parts of the body, whereas veins deliver the blood back to the heart. Arteries are connected to veins by thin capillaries wherein materials are exchanged between the blood and cells. Capillaries are also may be divided arterioles and venules. Blood has platelets, cells, which recirculate around the body and prevent the blood loss at the site of injury. It contains RBC, red blood cells, white blood cells. Beside it, another liquid connective tissue which is colorless, that is lymph. Lymph is also involved in transportation. It is similar to the plasma of blood but colorless and contains less protein. It drains into lymphatic capillaries from the intercellular spaces, which join to form large lymph vessels that finally open into larger veins. It carries digested and absorbed fat from intestine and drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. Now we will talk about the transportation in plants. Plant transport systems will move energy stores from leaves and raw materials from roots. These 2 pathways are constructed as independently organized conducting tubes. One, the xylem, moves water and minerals obtained from the soil. The other, phloem, transport products of photosynthesis from the leaves, where they are synthesized to other part of the plant. The component of xylem tissue, tracheids and vessels of roots, stems, leaves are interconnected to form a continuous system of water conducting channels that reaches all parts of the plant. Transpiration creates a suction pressure, as a result of which water is forced into the xylem cells of the roots. Then there is a steady movement of water from the root xylem to all parts of the plant through the interconnected water conducting channels. The loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plant is known as transpiration. Thus, it helps in the absorption and upward movement of water and minerals dissolved in it from roots to the leaves. It also regulates temperature. The transport of soluble products of photosynthesis is called translocation, and it occurs in phloem. It transports amino acids and other substances. The translocation of food and other substances take place in the sieve tubes with the help of adjacent companion cells, both in upward and downward direction. The translocation in phloem is achieved by utilizing energy. Materials like sucrose is transferred into phloem tissue using energy from ATP. This increases the osmotic pressure of the tissue, causing water to move into it. This allows the phloem to move material according to the plant's need. For example, in the spring, sugar stored in root or stem tissue would be transported to the birds which need energy to grow. This is the sum up of the transportation in plants. Now, let us discuss some important questions or objective of the lessons. I think you are very much clear about the components of blood. What are the components of blood? RBC, WBC, platelets, and plasma. Serum may be separated from the plasma. Plasma without fibrin is known as serum. Another important question is that what is the difference between arteries and veins? Always be careful about that. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from heart to the other body parts, while the veins carries deoxygenated blood other organs to the heart. Another important point regarding this exception here, a pulmonary artery carries impure blood, means deoxygenated blood. Like this, pulmonary veins also contain pure blood. Another important question is that human heart is a myogenic heart and made up of a special tissue, that is cardiac muscles, and consisting of 4 chambers. Some questions from the plant section. Just like that, transpiration. What is transpiration? Transpiration is the loss of water in the form of vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. Basic differences between xylem and phloems. Xylem carries water and minerals from root to the shoot. It is unidirectional, while the phloem contains food prepared in the leaves to the all parts of the body. So, the direction is bidirectional. Xylems contain xylem tracheids, vessels, xylem fiber, and xylem parenchyma. Among 4 components, 3 are non-living, while the xylem parenchyma is living. In other hand, 4 components of phloem, 3 are living. Phloem, parenchyma, companion cells, and sieve tubes are living, while the phloem fiber is non-living. I think this lesson and talk is fruitful for you people. So you should learn and write these questions in your notebook. Thank you and have a nice day. Morning.